Republicans have been the ones that have stood in the way of common sense gun safety. They're also the ones who in Congress and the White House froze over $1 billion of DC's funding in March. And, Donald Trump pardoned 1,600 criminals who rampaged through the city and attacked the Capitol on January 6th, 2021. So if you're focused on just the actual issue of crime in DC, you're missing the bigger picture. This is about normalizing something that could potentially be much, much more egregious.
But Trump, we know he's wrong. But I think what they're seeing is someone sticking their neck out saying, I'm going to do something about this. And I think the average person, that's what appeals to them. I mean, I lived in New York City, and the city was unmanageable until Rudy Giuliani, and he was a tyrant. He violated everybody's human rights, and I mean, and he cleaned up the city. So I think the average person is looking at this and rooting him on.
This city has experienced better crime rates, right? Homicides are down, carjackings are down, but in contrast to other cities, Memphis, New Orleans, St. Louis, Baltimore, Cleveland, Detroit, they have much higher numbers than DC. And just broadly for the United States, the militarization of the police is something that I think should have us all concerned. And I do think that there is another context here as well, Luis and Jeremy, that you guys understand, which is DC is 45% Black. It's run Muriel Bowser, a Black mayor, Pamela Smith, Black chief of police, Eleanor Holmes Norton, Black representative in Congress. This cannot be sort of delinked from that context. And I think a lot of DC folks, and when we're talking about DC, we're not talking about Northwest. We're not talking about areas that are predominantly white and that have folks that work in Congress or people that are in the lobbying world or lawyers, et cetera, et cetera. We're talking about the bulk of the city in places like Southeast and Northeast, right? Where a lot of this policing is taking place, and they're not looking at it through the eyes of, oh, they're going to come and help, do away with crime. They're looking at it in a racialized context. And that's something.
And we're already seeing examples of people being tied to the ICE operation